We're in the Radcave. This is a bottle of ketchup. Am I recording? Yes. A bottle of ketchup. And it's a bit weird. It has ketchup here, and it has ketchup here. This part of the ketchup seems to be defying gravity, as it were, until you turn it like this. And it's the other parts defying gravity now. There really is no rhyme. There really is no reason. I just thought it was cool. That doesn't thematically tie into anything. I guess you could say it does thematically tie in that there was no reason that it was brought up, but whatever. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commander Radix. That's me, in the name of the channel. I haven't recorded a video in a long time, so bear with me. Throughout the entire history of the career of Commander Radix, all my videos pretty much have been recorded in one location, and that was my family's house back in North Carolina. We're not in North Carolina right now. Something happened. Something changed. What could that be, Radix? What happened? Why are you on Tatami Mat? And the answer, my friends, is because I moved, got a job, did what everyone does, except my move and my job happened to be in a different country across the planet. And now I am back in the ancestral homeland, as it were, of Japan. I say I'm back. I'm not back. Part of my blood is? Is that how it works? I don't know. I am a strong proponent of the idea that one's surroundings, let me turn off this lamp, that one's surroundings affects the content they create. An artist might have a certain period of their art where you know, oh, that was when that artist lived in Paris or in Amsterdam or whatever. You know, where they live and the environment they are a part of changes the expression that the artist shows in their work. Similarly enough, I think that I tend to value places of living. After all, I never moved in my life except for this move. I had lived in the house that you've seen the previous videos in my entire life, never moved once. Even for college, I was a commuter. I went from my house to school every school day. And I very much think it's important to be part of the environment of where you live. Feel at home. I think the only place anyone can find any sort of solace, or someone like me, I guess there are people who can, like extroverts, who can go out and be fine with whoever. But people like me need their own little abode, their own little hovel to live in, their place to be at peace with the world, because everything else about the world stresses them out. So here I am, at a place that brings me peace, my new home. So the concept of a home, a place of living, is important when it comes to how I view you are way too high. Hold on. There's a line I'm willing to cross when it comes to experimental angles, but this was not an intentional experimental angle. The place where you live impacts you once you feel at home at it. The point is, I am living alone for the first time in my life. There's a lot of first times in my life that's happening right now, but I'm sorry if I seem weird. I've been without internet for 31 days. I get internet tomorrow, thank God. Then maybe I'll be back to my old self. I've always liked the idea that the old Europeans had, where they named their house, I can't think of any examples right now off the top of my head. And this carried over into old colonial American society too, and even continued on in the South, like Mount Vernon and Monticello. And I really like that tradition, so I have intended on naming every place I live. Now, I couldn't name the place where I was born, that old house, because that was my family's house, and you can't just spawn in and say, hey, yo, I'm renaming this place. But now that I'm living somewhere alone, I feel like I can give this place a name. And I have a name for this, and it's called the Radcave. Here, my little base in Okinawa is the Radcave. Now, why is it called the Radcave? Because it's very small. And when you think of... It's a play on words on the Batcave. Now, the Batcave is the little basement. It depends on what comic you read. Most of the time it's pretty big. It has cars in it. I don't have a Batmobile parked in here. The Bat Cycle, what I call my scooter, is outside the apartment complex, but it's not in the Radcave. But especially during the beginning of Batman's career, the Batcave is kind of like a small little hovel where Batman's just hunched over a computer with bats everywhere. And the Batcave isn't necessarily meant to be a place to live, but it is a sort of lair, if you get what I mean, I guess. This apartment is really small, but it's enough for me, especially when I look at it through the lens of saying it's the Radcave. It's my version of the Batcave. I don't need much space in the Batcave because I don't need to park the Radmobile, but I can get a rad computer, like the Bat computer, but only it's rad. So my goal for this apartment is to make it the Radcave with the rad computer, my first super, strong gaming computer. That's a goal to get as soon as possible. That will be over there. Because all my years of content you've seen before have been with me with budgeted computers, with computers that really can't do much. But very soon I intend to have a powerful computer with fiber optic internet. It's going to be a blast. Now, it's funny I say that because, throughout the history of the Lazy Koalas, everyone had good computers except for me, and good internet except for me, and I was always holding everyone back. But now I will have the internet, and I will have the powerful computer. But at the same time, the koalas are dying out. You can see, the golden age of the Lazy Koalas is when I'm running on a terrible computer with slow internet. And then as I start to get better internet, the Lazy Koalas stops being a frequently uploading channel. And now that I'm getting the big computer, I don't know how much longer the koalas are going to last. There were lots of complaints in the most recent Lazy Koalas podcast that came out about how nobody wanted to do the podcast but me. So I'm considering, and this is just me rambling off the top of my head, this is the first time it's coming out of anyone's mouth. So the Lazy Koalas haven't even heard this thing that I've been ruminating over. But thinking of just moving the Lazy Koalas podcast to the Commander Radix channel, if Radix is the only one who cares, and then, I just bring in the koalas to pretty much run it exactly how the Lazy Koalas podcast did, except it's getting put on the Commander Radix channel and being uploaded more infrequently, because I can't do a weekly series on my channel with the Lazy Koalas, because that will be overflowing all the other forms of content that I do. The koalas in general seem to be dying out as far as content goes, which is weird because now I'm able to keep up with them with a powerful PC. So that's annoying. I'll make a new video announcing its existence later on, but I want to announce first here and foremost, for those of you watching the first episode of the Radcave, is that there is now a Commander Radix Discord server. In the past, it was viewed that the Lazy Koalas was a community where we wanted to share everyone, or rather, as a community, we would have sort of a shared fan base, and if you only cared about one corner of the Lazy Koalas community, that was fine. But especially as the Lazy Koalas are dying off, no one's making content. Last I checked, Twisted started doing streams again, but who knows how long that will last for. So, especially if the Lazy Koalas podcast gets moved over to my channel, I think it's appropriate for the Commander Radix community to break off. At this point, the Lazy Koalas feels more like a subset of the Commander Radix sphere than Commander Radix feels like a subset of the Lazy Koala sphere. So I'm going to assert that prestige and move over to the Commander Radix Discord server. We used to have an independent Discord server back in the day, but that was back during the Primus Prime 22 days. Now we have a proper Commander Radix server. Link is in the description. There is nothing more important to me than feeling at peace at the place you live. Where you live is the geographic extension of you as a person. I believe that the place you live should be the highest prioritized thing in your life as far as like housing is concerned. Now, this is a temporary place. I will not be in this apartment longer than 5 years. This is not where I intend to permanently stay. Okinawa certainly doesn't have a good job market. I might want to move further north up near the Tokyo region. I don't want to be one of the type of people to keep moving to place to place to place. I don't really like that sort of lifestyle. I want a place to call home and be content where that's probably the place I will die in, you know. I just want that sort of stability. I know other people like to move to different places and stuff, but I just want to have like my place as soon as possible because that's just the type of person I am. So until I find that perfect place, we're going to go through a series, if you will. A series of weird mega vlogs where I talk about my thought process and stuff in my life in the different houses that I live in, houses and apartments. The first series of this is the Radcave, which will be this era of the Commander Radix videography. Now, these series, this mega series, you'll have the Radcave up until I move out of this place. Then you'll have whatever the name of the next place I live in. That will be its own series. Same sort of feel for the content as for what it is. It's the mega... I don't know exactly what to call. I have a clear vision for what I want this series to be, and this mega series to be, but I don't know how to explain it in words, so you're just going to have to join me on for the ride. But we'll have the Radcave, then the next place I live, whatever, I'll name that place, and then the next one, until ultimately we find the perfect place where I settle down and think, this is where I want to be. And, you know, the least amount of moves I make until I reach that place, the better, but still. And we're ultimately in this mega series called The Road to the Commander's Cabin, because the Commander's Cabin will be the name I give to my final place where I believe is where I want to live my life. The place that I want to truly call home, like I did the previous place I lived. Now, as fitting for the first episode of The Radcave, I think I should give you guys a little tour of the place. It won't take long at all. But I tried to record this video earlier, but I just lost the motivation for it. Mostly because I didn't have internet. The only reason I'm making this right now is because I know I'll get internet tomorrow, and that's hyping me up. But last time I tried to clean this place up before I showed you, but now I'm just going to show you how it is, you know. There's like remains of fried Spam in the frying pan over there. There's some spare rice in the kitchen. The trash can is very piled up high. This isn't the prettiest version of the Radcave, but I just want to get this video over with. Maybe I'll make a better apartment tour once everything's all clean and pretty, but until then, this is the stand-in for our first episode of the Radcave. I suppose we'll start off over here. We have a little bit of customization and decoration on the walls with the good old map of Japan, which you saw back in, you know, the old house that, you know, I brought that with me. And then the map of Tokyo. We have a mirror and we have the Hyotoko mask. I brought a lot of the classic Commander Radix stuff, like the Hyotoko mask. We brought the communist Soviet hat over here. Couldn't bring the trench coat or the military rank. Actually, I think I did bring the ranks. But whatever. Now right here we have a futon that's flipped over because you don't want to leave your futon on the tatami mat after you sleep on it because then the moisture gets on it. Typically you fold it up and put it into the closet over there, and there's the closet, but I don't have the energy for that in the morning, so I just flip it over, you know, sort of not where it was before. Table and end stand or whatever you want to call it with some books and stuff. A lot of coins because Japan loves its coins, but my wallet does not like coins, so they're there. Storage. You might notice that there's a lot of toilet paper adorning the walls. That's because this is Okinawa, and in Okinawa you have geckos, and the geckos just wander in whenever they feel like it. And I've noticed that a lot of them come from these little hold slots, so I've plugged that up. I just don't want those geckos coming in. And everyone's like, oh, Radix, they won't hurt you. I don't care about hurting them, I just don't like the concept of a lizard inside my house, usually multiple at a time. My curtains, which is in front of a glass door that goes out to my balcony, which has my washing machine and clothesline, because it's Japan and that's what you do. Air conditioning, a charm from a temple in Kyoto that was there when I got here. An old television that doesn't work. That says, "Please do not leave" on. And then a little bumblebee given to me by hashtag MC the Laze Boy. Some other stuff over here. I have this lawn chair on top of a Stormtrooper Snuggie because I don't want to leave indentions on the Tatami mat. Let me tell you, living on a Tatami mat looks cool. Has a lot of inconveniences with it. Have a nice lamp over here, chair over here. And then here is where the fun begins. Now there are some dishes that are still left here, but whatever. Take a good look, ladies and gentlemen, because this is the rad computer, or at least it will be, because there is a lot I need to do for this rad computer. So first and foremost, this still is the same old laptop I was using back in America. We still have the same keyboard, the same mouse, etc. My microphone's up in that corner there. The biggest difference right now is that monitor, that huge monitor that I did not measure up to the size of the rest of the desk. I started off with a very weak, small chair that hurt my back. So I spent the money and got a big, nice, fancy chair that I really like. It also reclines, so I can do the PewDiePie meme where I say, "Can you do this?" So I really like this chair. The monitor is intended to be part of a set of monitors, either dual or triple maybe, of monitors for my rad computer whenever I get that. I just accidentally ended up getting it before the actual computer, so it's plugged into my laptop right now. On here I have the Calamus Mythos timeline that I'm working on. This is actually an archived, saved HTML file, so I could reference it when I didn't have the internet. Let's see. But the chair and the monitor are new. Now, I might do this as a series. I might just wait until one final video. But the rad computer will be put together piece by piece. And I'm not going to build it like a computer. I'm really referring to the setup, because I have a desk on the way that's going to be bigger than this one that can actually store the multiple monitors. This tower thing in the corner is really annoying. But I want to ultimately have triple monitors. I'm fine with dual for a while, but I want to get triple. Really powerful computer. Although I will have to change out the graphics card for something better that was recommended to me by Twisted Ambition. So once we get that computer and the 3 monitors, we get a bigger desk. We're going to get a floor mat for the floor because I've been using cardboard to defend the Tatami mat from this chair, which isn't working that well. Bigger desk, 3 monitors, computer. Might want to get some RBG at keyboard and mouse for the aesthetic. Want to get the LED lights back. I miss my LED lights. We'll set that back up. And then we'll basically have... basically all we need is the desk, the computer, and another monitor before I consider the rad computer to exist. Until then, I don't consider the rad computer existing. But we also still don't have internet. That's something also that should be happening tomorrow. But let's see. So the rad computer will come into effect. Oh, I'll give it one monitor. One monitor, the supercomputer, and the desk. And the internet. Then we will have the rad computer. And then I will continue to build up that rad computer, switching out the graphics card, getting more monitors, getting LED lights, getting new RBG, or is it RBG or RGB? Mouse and keyboard to fit the aesthetic. I might want to even try to get some Philips Smart Color Hue light bulbs into this lamp thing that I think would be aesthetic. The ultimate version of the rad computer, once I have everything and I am content and there's nothing else I want, we will have a mic arm, we will have a Blue Yeti microphone, we will have a green screen, we will have a VR headset, probably with full motion tracking by converting this whole room into a little VR room, because I certainly have the space. Let's see, LEDs, maybe a USB hub. But once this thing is complete, oh, the rad computer will be the greatest thing I've ever had. It's going to be amazing. Moving on to the kitchen, probably the most dirtiest room in the building because I still have a lot of leftover boxes. In fact, I might not even want to show the address on that. Microwave, rice cooker, internet, refrigerator, blah, blah, blah. You've seen the whole room. There's a lot of stuff that could compromise me with my address and stuff, so I'm going to leave that out for now. You'll maybe get a tour of it at a later date. The entrance Genkan is over there with the shoes, and the bathroom is right over there. Ladies and gentlemen, we've made the quantum leap. No, we haven't. Why are you so short? Some updates have been made to the setup. Now we have a desk that doesn't cram me up when I sit in it. We have a nice chair, we have a good desk. Internet, that's also something that I haven't updated you on. We have internet now. So here's the deal with what I'm doing right now. I am resting because my internet addiction needs time to recover because I spent like a month without internet. I have internet now, and it's not as fast as what I had in North Carolina, but we just need to get a new router, and then bit-bop bippity, we're all good in the hood. So now that I'm sitting here, this desk was very much a difficult thing for me to build, by the way. I mean, it's like an IKEA desk, like I could do it myself. I did do it myself, but it was a pain because this was so heavy. This is so heavy. I was a bit concerned because the chair legs are actually a bit shorter than I expected, but it all works out. It is 180 centimeters across, which means I certainly have enough room for 3 monitors eventually, and the PC, so we're all good. Good space for LED lights. It's white, and I actually like how it matches with everything that's black that I own. And I was a little bit demoralized before because I really couldn't do anything until I got this desk, and I was all crammed up, and I didn't really feel like I had much options available to me. But now that I have this nice desk, and it's not like a fancy desk, it's literally just a 180 centimeter plank of wood on 2 legs. But I think it's nice, especially compared to what I had before, since I have room. But so I'll say it's nice. But with this desk, I can see more potential. I can see more possibilities. I can visualize the rad computer as we speak. Because there's so much space that can be used. Right now, it's not the best setup, because especially what's behind me right now over here is just a bunch of random stuff, including the newspaper and the air conditioning button. I want to get another power strip over there so I can plug more stuff in. Because right now everything's hooked up to a power strip over here on this side of the wall. And I actually have good cable management, relatively speaking. Like before, all these cords were at my feet because I didn't have anywhere else to put them. But with this desk, I could slide it around and slide it up, so my feet do not have any cords to deal with. I figure I'll use this opportunity to talk about some stuff I'm planning on doing. Or I'm talking about where the channel's going right now as I'm settling in Japan. Because I know it's been a while since I uploaded, and you guys might want to know what's up, what's with the schedule, what's the content going to be like, what have you. For now, right now, we're still not on any solid schedule yet. Especially once the rad computer's complete, we'll head back to a schedule. As far as content goes, I know I'm doing the issue-by-issue review of the current IDW Transformers series. Let me just say, that IDW Transformers series coming out right now is not good. Or at least, not many people think it's good. I'm willing to give it more time, but I just don't know how long I'll be willing to give it more time, you know. Transformers Galaxies came out, haven't read it yet. And I also said on Twitter that I'd reviewed the new G.I. Joe series. G.I. Joe issue 1 was terrible. So that's going to be fun to tear apart. So you can expect those ongoing comic reviews to come up sometime soon. That might be the next thing I work on. Or actually, the next thing I work on might be some of the videos I have left over from the LazyCon 2019 that was with the Lazy Koalas. I know I uploaded a lot of meme videos during LazyCon, but there are actual videos coming from that. I just need to edit them, and I need to get back into the groove with that. But the Radcave, I wanted the Radcave to be my first video upon arriving, the first video to kick off this new era in Japan. Because it's a lot more like what's going on with my life. It's easier to give updates through that method. But yeah. I frankly want the Radcaves to last like maybe around an hour, but I have no idea how long this one's going to last. I'm eager to upload again, and I know that it's important for me to upload as soon as possible because people are wondering where I am. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this one a bit short, and we'll have this be the very still very much a work in progress episode 1 of the Radcave. Thank you guys for joining me on this quest to Japan and my new life starting 2 months ago. But yeah, games should be kicking back up, especially once the Rad computer is complete. Comics are weird. I want to do something like that. I started to record a Comics Are Awesome about Ultimate Spider-Man, but Spider-Man stopped being relevant a while ago. Definitely more history videos coming. I definitely have lots of topics I want to do. It might be a while until I do on-site historical videos, because I don't want to show you historical locations where I live. I want to move out somewhere, and that requires me to take the time to go out somewhere. And it's been very typhoony lately, so that hasn't happened yet. Anime videos are certainly coming. I have a weird video idea involving the Hamilton musical, which stopped being top relevant a long time ago, but I have an idea. And Transformers lore. I completely forgot about Transformers lore. But yeah, things are starting to kick up here. I don't know what else to say, and I want to get this video out soon, because I want the Radcave to be something I work on sporadically while I'm working on other videos, but I really want to get this video out before everything else, so I haven't been working on any other videos, which means I need to get this out as soon as possible. Streams, that's another thing I want to do. Streams, once the internet's good. Oh, I just need a better router. And frankly, that might also have to wait till the Rad computer comes in. But thank you for watching the first episode of the Radcave, and I'll see you next time. Okay.